On today's Toy Box Tuesday, we're going to take a look at another figure in the Titus figure Build-A-Figure series in the Marvel Legends line. Today, we're going to take a look at the Masters of Mind Darkhawk figure. Welcome back. So yes, finally getting back to these Marvel Legends reviews. Figured it's about high time to do them since, well, I put them off for a couple of weeks now. And, well, I kind of want to get to building Titus here. So overall, we'll just get right into the packaging right now. But overall, nice packaging overall. Same old window display for the Marvel Legends toy line. You get a nice little view of Titus's head there, along with the figure of Darkhawk, which looks pretty impressive. Don't mind the bandages, guys. Also, I should probably bring it up. I accidentally hurt myself recently, so yeah, not too good. But just wanted to bring that up too. Anyways, side of the packaging, you get a nice look at Darkhawk there. Nice little artist illustration. Then onto the other side, you also get the other variant of the Masters of Mind set, which is Vance Astro looking stoic of ever. And you also get the Guardians of the Galaxy logo on top. And on the back, you get two of the figures that make up this, well, variant series, which is, of course, Vance Astro and Darkhawk. And also, you get all the figures in the wave, that make up the Titus Build-A-Figure. You get Drax, Yondu, Vance Astro, part of the Masters of Mind collection that I just mentioned, Marvel's Angela, Darkhawk, Nova, and of course, Star-Lord. And of course, you get the Build-A-Figure of Titus there, which we'll eventually get to in a couple more weeks, guys. And also, I'll just pause the camera so you guys can read the read-up here. So there's a read-up right there. So as you can see, all it says: with incredible powers of both body and mind, these heroes prepare for an intergalactic mission. So yeah, pretty bland read up there. So without further ado, once I'll just pause this video actually, and in the next bit of the video, we'll actually get into the look of the figure. So as always, guys, stay tuned. And here's the figure out of packaging. Now, before we actually get into the actual, well, toy, just wanted to show off this cool little piece here. Probably already showed it, but you actually do get the head of Titus. There we go. So you actually do get the head of Titus here, which is clue for packaging. An overall phenomenal piece. Really liking the look of this Build-A-Figure. As you can see, you get a nice little paint detail at all his fur, sculpt wise, all of his fur. Get a nice little view of his scalp there. Very nice. I do like the added touch of the sight seeker there, if you can see. Very, very cool. And also some gnarly looking teeth too. So yeah, we'll just pull out the main torso. So obviously fits into the peg hole right here, and we can fit it just like that. So we almost have a completed Titus, as you can see. Very, very nice. So obviously all we need is the left arm for Titus's body, and also the left leg, and he'll be finally complete. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, that was pretty neat. But now let's actually get into the figure of Darkhawk. And overall, he's honestly a phenomenal piece. So yeah, obviously overall he's a phenomenal piece. As you can see, the sculpt on this guy / detail and paint apps are very, very clean. He's not actually a straight black painted figure. He's actually Has a few bits of, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'll just zoom in for a bit. It actually has a bit of bluish slash navy blue tint to him for little paint applications on there, which is pretty cool, to be honest, and fairly neat. His wings are nicely detailed as well, obviously being that this is a, kind of like a falcon vulture type of character. He obviously has to have wings. I actually have no idea who Darkhawk is from the Marvel Comics. All I know, he's kind of like a 90s obscure character. If you're all curious what Darkhawk looks like in the comics, here you go. Just put a image there for you. Looks like he's very comic accurate from the looks of how Hasbro did this guy, so that's pretty much a plus. So yeah, really impressed with this figure overall. Very nice. Now, the only main gripe I have with it, it looks like the body mold is actually reusable. I'll just throw an image here. It looks like they reused the same mold from the Marvel Legends 2-pack series. I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man Marvel Legends 2-pack, which was a Walmart exclusive at the time. It had a Vulture figure in there, and I think they just reused the same mold from that Vulture figure and applied it to this, Darkhawk figure, which, it is what it is. Obviously, it looks like they used the same type of wing design, as nice as the wings are, but it looks like it's reusable wings. So, that's pretty slightly disappointing, but seeing how Hasbro went above and beyond and made this figure quite cool looking, I have no complaints. So yeah, that's pretty awesome on Hasbro's part. Even though they reused the mold, they had a few applications there. Also, the pretty neat thing too is, if I'll just zoom in for you guys, he actually has these types of, talons or claws that make up with it. As you can see, they're completely rubbery material, so it's not like a hard plastic, which is nice, but that's pretty cool. Nicely detailed too. As you can see, it has, as you can see before I drop the figure, it has nice little detailed ridges there that make up the claws, and looks like some kind of device attached to it. All this is just a solid piece, by the way. There's no interchangeable hands, if I can show you guys, but there's no interchangeable hands at all. So it's a completely solid piece for this figure, so that's pretty nice. And also, just looking at the head sculpt too, you get a nice little head sculpt visor. It kind of looks like one of those Battlestar Galactica characters. I think they're called Cyclones or whatever, those types of guys with the little visor there. My autofocus will cooperate. Not going to, so we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. But as you can see, he has a nice little visor there. Forgot to point it out, and also a little diamond etching there, which is pretty comic accurate, as I showed you earlier. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the designs of Darkhawk. So pretty cool. Now, as far as articulation goes for this figure, pretty standard articulation. We'll just go through it very quickly. He bends at the foot, typical foot pivot back and forth. Does a side swivel at the ankle region. Bends at the calf, which is just like that. Bends in and out of the knee. Same points of articulation on the left leg too. He has a slight swivel, a very slight swivel at the waist. Bends at the ab region. Unfortunately, my figure came a little bit loose, so he's a bit loose on the ab region, unfortunately, but that's okay. I mean, I doubt very much this guy's going to be breaking anytime soon, because he's kind of, loose figures tend to not to break if you don't play with them too much, so obviously I'm not going to pose him too heavily in that region anyway, so that's pretty nice. He bends, oh, cool. I didn't know that. So in order to get the articulation at the shoulders, he actually has these pads that you can lift too, so that's pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice. I like that a lot. So he bends at the shoulder ever so slightly. Does a full 60 around the arm region. Can bend all the way out, but unfortunately with these shoulder pads, can't really do a full articulation all the way around like the other Marvel Legends figures, so unfortunately that hinders it, but that's okay. But he can go out though. He does a bend at the elbow. His wings are unfortunately kind of get in the way with that, but he can do a bend at the elbow. He does a full waist around around the shoulder region as well, as I pointed out before, and he does the same at this other point. The only difference being obviously is also his claws that are in the way. So yeah, pretty cool. So we'll just get this guy posed downward, and he also has a very free range of articulation in the head. You can go up and down, but it looks like there's no pin and socket joint, which is kind of weird on this figure. As you can see, doesn't have any pin or socket joint. He's just on a very, very loose bobblehead type of articulation joint there. So it just looks like a ball joint. It looks like no pin and socket joint, which is actually kind of unfortunate because it would have been nice for this figure to have some kind of articulation where you can go all the way back so it can look like he's flying in the air or something, and if you want to pose him that way. Kind of unfortunate with that. Now, with all being said, you're probably wondering what would I give this figure, what to point out several of the details of this figure and my overall appreciation of it. Overall, I think I would give him a decently 9 out of 10. Just a phenomenal looking figure. Just a very cool, slick looking action figure from this line. He is very nicely painted, probably absolutely mint on paint detail because he just looks very clean in detail and very nicely painted out of the line. No flaws whatsoever, just an overall nice looking figure. And despite the fact he does reuse some of the wing accessories from other flying type characters in the Marvel Legends universe, especially with the Marvel Legends Vulture figure from the Ultimate Spider-Man Walmart 2-pack, he just Hasbro managed to be able to reuse that type of mold and pull out a decently looking figure, despite the fact he recycles a few parts from that figure, and hence why I'm giving him 9 out of 10. Just a phenomenal piece. Really liking this figure a lot. Probably one of my favorites out of line out of all of them. Probably one of my top 3 favorites from this line. So yeah, that is it from this look at this figure, and hopefully, once we get down the line, we can actually finish the review of this series and actually get to the Build-A-Figure of Titus. So, anyways, guys, without rambling too much, hope you guys enjoyed this review of today's Toy Box Tuesdays. We look today at Marvel Legends Dark Hawk figure. Subscribe down below if you want to see more Toy Box Tuesdays from me. And as always, from Morgan Entertainment, stay entertained.